Most English.
Yeah.
No, we can't break bones doing stuff like that.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's why I said you must have a feel for those joints first before you do this. But if I kept going, I'd break it for sure. You have to feel the limitation
Thanks for that.
and work within it to stretch.
I know we just swear in German, but not in English.
Yeah,
They don't know.
there you go.
Scheißen. Yeah.
We just tell
That's
you.
one of the few German words I know.
Yeah, we just saying my mom's from Germany, and I
Yeah.
said the only German she taught me were swear words.
That's what everyone learns first, eh?
Oh yeah.
I think German swear words just have that great like impact, you know? Scheißen. You know? I don't know. I love it.
Oh yes, that's great.
So now look, what I'm doing is kind of supporting the finger like this with two fingers and turning it.
Sorry.
So pulling it on either side and then going the other way. So really opening that joint this way. Breaking up any of these little crystals that develop in here, which again, I'm not a scientist and I don't understand what they are, but I think that they're what causes arthritis. So and you can feel them as grains of sand sometimes, and they're what makes that crunchiness, like, or, you know, where a joint doesn't move smoothly.
Right, like when people have gout.
Yeah.
it's like crystals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Any forms of arthritis, yeah. But look at that. Took a while, but now we're starting to get that movement happening in that joint. I come back and just have a feel of this area too, because sometimes things will move. So I'm stretching the finger. Again, one I already did, but just to see, you know, loosening up one finger will have an impact upon the others as well. So that's why I come back and forth. Okay, now we'll come to the next one.
That was a good crack.
That was a good crack, yeah. And again, this one's fresh tension, so even though I could go quite hard on that one now, this one, it feels quite tight to me too. So you can feel that he started to pull away there. So we just respond, we go a little bit more gentle, and again, it feels very charged. As soon as I hit that point, I can even feel it move into my hands, as he was saying he could feel it too. So I get that area just before he's going to tighten up against me, where he can still breathe into it. As I say, no point in having him tighten up against me or pull his hand away and me chasing it, because that's all about me doing it rather than him breathing into it and letting it go. Okay. Moving it slow, and I can feel that just going right up. You can feel it too, hey? And in some ways, like I say, if a person can handle it and I have enough energy, I'd rather do a 1-2 hour treatment and do his whole hand than do 2 1-hour treatments and have him go away, because I just feel it's a more complete. Of course, it's not complete because it's not his whole body, but he'll just feel that whole limb will be really loose.
I don't know for 1 hour treatment either.
Yeah.
Unless it is the elder.
Yeah, or an introduction is okay for an hour. So then coming into here. And starting to just do that little caressing with the chopstick through here. And then in there.
Did you do that caress thing before you even went down one time? You sometimes you just
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just because he's
go
so.
like a flow a little bit?
That's right. And each finger's getting a little bit easier, not because they're looser, because they're not necessarily, but just because he's getting into just a more deeper receptive. He's just he's surrendering to the whole process, and just he knows the trust is just building. Even though Gerardo and I know each other, but I haven't seen him for a year or so, and he's just getting into the right headspace to release, and he knows he also knows I'm not gonna overwork him. So that allows him to go into a deeper state of consciousness and just relax. And so we're building up, and I sense his where his 10 is without, so we can just get on with it, That's what I call building the bridge of trust, and then him just getting into a deeper and deeper consciousness. So I come back here, going a little bit harder now. And just really, even like a millimeter move to just make sure I've cleared this whole area. So you can see I'm just changing my spot ever so slightly, making sure that's not charged, and then coming over this point here. You can still see there's charge in there. Letting him breathe into it, sometimes easing my pressure off just to allow him to have a breath. So really tuning in, as I say, we're a servant of the breath. That's really, really important to understand, okay? And then I'm going in again. I'm sensing his breath. So what I call the micro, which is my detail here, and the macro, which is his breath. I'm feeding that breath with this, and his awareness. He's feeding it with his awareness. And that's what we call the partnership model of medicine. Then I can come in, and I know it's still tight in here. Then I can come back into this spot. And I just need to shake my hand a little bit. And even this one. Again, we're starting to get more of that movement. Still feels like I can feel some crunchiness in there, but it's starting to move. Now I want to do this side as well. And I can feel a little, I also know I'm near his threshold. So this side's really tight. Bits of crunchiness under there, which I also know is going to be very sensitive. So I might just follow that in. I know I haven't done the base of it very well, but just take away whatever percentage I've got out of there. I'll follow that just to give him a little rest too, because this is quite intense. I've changed the angle slightly to go that way. I can actually feel it coming up my arm. Real crunchy stuff in here. But I know I'm pushing him, and I'm going to let him have a breath. And I'll just let him, and I think, okay, do I need to come to his belly? But I'm just going to let him breathe a bit.
Oh. I'm good.
You good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
This one you had first on the other side?
Oh, sure. I don't know if I was staying on my side, but it's.
Yeah, there's this real
Feels better.
crunchy. You can feel all that crunchiness in there.
How do you feel better on the first row?
So as well as doing a bit of scraping, I'm also holding and then caressing over the band. But I know that this is going to take a little bit of time, which is fine. And all of this is going to add to that outer wristband, and of course on the inside it's going to add to the inner wristband. So I'll also give a bit of a go through here. Okay, so now I'm going to stretch that bit, not too much. Stretch it this way, stretch it that way. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Is that in that joint?
Yeah, in that one. Yeah, got that one too. Yeah. See, there's no way I would have got them initially. It was too much tightness. Had to get rid of the tightness, and now the joints are
You have
working.
to be super in tune when you're doing those big twisty stretches, right?
That's what I'm saying. Don't do it if you're not in tune. Dangerous otherwise, right? As I say, to do any kind of advanced massage, empathy must be, and by empathy I mean tuning into the person. You know, not just, oh, I feel your emotional state, but I can sense energy, because this kind of stuff is a lot of it is based on that. But also feeling the limitations of joints, not pushing them beyond their limitation, even if you're taking them quite near their limitation, but not beyond. Yeah. So, like I say, practice on yourself, and you know, but just don't go beyond, and be aware that you're, you know. Look at the movement now in that one. Stretch it.
I did not know the ends of fingers could move like that until
Yeah,
this
no kidding.
so bristly.
Ah, see that joint went now? I came back to that other finger. Oh, and so did that one. So that's why I say if they don't go initially, they might go later as you do the other fingers. That's why I kind of like if I can do a whole hand in one go, or a foot, I like to. Sometimes with the foot it's just too hard, because it takes so much time to get that big toe. But if I can, they do impact upon each other.
Maybe a foot's maybe more of a two treatment.
Some people's are. Some people I can do a foot in one go.
I guess it just depends on, like mine.
Yeah, yours
may
would
not
probably be.
in one.
I would certainly at least give it, if I had the energy, wasn't too tired, I'd at least book you in for 3 hours for the foot, and we'll see how we go. Because 2 hours is often not enough. And then, you know, it might be reaching my limit, 3 hours. If I'm tired that day, it might be 2, but 3, I can often do 3 hour treatments. So I'm getting in right into here now. I even want to do a little bit more through here. Coming back into that point and a bit deeper, and then even moving like this. Just because I was still feeling it sort of not giving down here. And again, only doing these scraping or moving if there is a little bit of natural oil. The person has a little bit of okay, and then twisting that joint again. Good, and I'm starting to feel